going to be quite weak from the side of PSG, sorry.
Yeah, so many G's. Well, it may be, and Deep Cross will be counting on that one, because if they lose this game, they are out of playoffs, out of Worlds contention. Oof. It comes down to this. This could be our final game of the night. PSG will be looking to steamroll through a second member of the J-Team universe. Deep Cross not going to want to let that happen.
Insanely rough for DCG, because I just want to say, when we still have the chance, that this split from DCG has been somewhat magical. Like, they were not expected to clinch a second place finish in the regular season. They were not expected to kind of make it here. But in the postseason, they had mishaps, and then miracles happened one by one. I just want to say, like, even if they go out, this split was, I've been so impressed by DCG throughout this entire year. And, yeah, I want to put that on the record.
Yeah. No, I think that's very fair. Deep Cross Gaming, it's hard not to be impressed by this team, but also completely befuddled, right? Because they're a team that is so hard to pin down. You said mishaps and miracles. That is kind of the theme of what they do. Like things either go perfectly and it's like the absolute galaxy brain planning and execution, or it just kind of goes really wrong, and it's hard to put a pin on why. I mean, take last game for example. It was down to like a handful of mistakes in execution. You could argue that's also PSG just being really good and experienced at collapsing and taking advantage of those mistakes. But at the same time, it's just, you never know what you're getting with this DCG team, and it's a breath of fresh air in the PCS.
Absolutely. I think for DCG to finish above J-Team, the squad that they kind of came out of, they were kind of known as the leftovers of J-Team, but they did better than the original squad, so that's to be pretty sweet for them. Now, coming back into this game, a couple things I do want to point out is, once again, we do have Leaky with the comment, so much more focused on winning the lane rather than in the team fights. And if we think about this draft, I still actually like DCG's draft quite a bit. The only thing here is, of course, they should not lose bottom lane that hard. If bottom lane stays even, if it's okay, then we can see Hana throw more pressure up into Nabi. We can see that Aatrox start to snowball. And we could see Leaky unleashed. We saw Leaky slumping in his chair on the cam, and I feel like he has to be a little bit deflated because he hasn't had much to do. He's won his lane, but he hasn't been given much time to do much else in the team fight.
And that's the trouble, right? Because the bottom lane has been losing out so hard, and even in that second game, it was kind of where PSG had the advantage. This time around, they're playing it out relatively safe. They know Kaiwing is on tank support. They can respect the distance of that Zenith blade. And yeah, it's all about getting to 6 and beyond. It's all about playing into the late game. You can see the Cole bot as well, strategy there, whereas Unified has gone for Dorans instead. So, they're going to try to get aggressive. They're going to try to push in. But after a couple of games of being under threat, you have to know, you have to try and play it safe. Bury can also get involved. He's been a much more active jungler in this series than I think we have come to expect of him on PSG. And that was one of our big critiques. PSG have definitely improved their early game jungle presence.
Yeah, coming into this series, PSG was actually only 25% on the first blood rate, and they had a negative 400 in the early game. I feel like this series, they've been able to stabilize a lot better here. And taking a look across the map, Bury not able, actually the bot lane from PSG not able to get these HP bars down enough, so Bury is going to go back onto this top side. Not going to try for the dive necessarily. And we're seeing DCG's trying to put Anabi in some bad positions right here. The wave has been held by Leaky, and you have that Vi going for the top.
Yeah, Bury could be there as well. Now, there is no cease and desist available just yet, so Hana's going to have a limited impact if he tries to go for it. But starting to reset. There's the Zenith Blade. Does manage to land onto Cascada. Good trade. Lots of damage. Ignite goes through, too. It's a dangerous maneuver. And they're able to dodge out the Ultra Shock Laser. So, again, the bullying continues. They stay alive. They don't burn any summoners, though. That's critical.
Yeah, they still have their heal in the bag, and the Ignite just went down. So, Cascada realistically has another extra 200, 300 HP in the bag right here. And, oh, this is what we missed.
Here we go, Hana.
Hana coming up.
All right. Let's see if he can bait it out. A little bit low artificially. Leaky trying to put on his best acting face. He's got it. Hanabi, he has to know. There we go. The jump in straight into the vault breaker. He nearly gets the outplay anyways with the flash for first blood. And Leaky has been looking for that all series.
I felt like that was a little bit too good to be true, but Hanabi was just like, you know what? I gotta go in. The guy's on 200 HP.
He did
Great
almost kill
work
him.
from Hana. True. He even saves his flash on that one. I think I would be so nervous. I would flash in for that vault breaker for sure. But Hana makes it work out, and now DCG finally get the win condition that they had in their previous matchup with PSG, which is snowball the top side, crack Hanabi, and then crack the rest of the top side.
Going for the Eclipse build as well, and yeah, so the strategy clearly hasn't changed there for Leaky. He's just trying to dominate, but the kill certainly accelerates the effort. The fact that they haven't been as hard pushed on the bottom, and they have a late game build incoming. The Zeri getting the boots completed early on, so you won't have those combat stats, but you're just trying to survive. You're just trying to hang in there because you know that if you can get into the late game, you're going to start looking real good.
Absolutely here, and I think we should be able to see DCG this time go very comfortably for the top side. They have a ton of crowd control, and it just means that PSG can't really approach. Like, think about how PSG has to approach this Herald. They probably need Meganar already, or they can just instantly burst him down. So I think DCG have a very, very strong game plan going to the first Herald. I fully expect them to get it without much trouble here. And it's about PSG to play disruption. They want to catch him out. People are rotating over. They want to get those vision blind spots where they can get enough damage, maybe on the sides of the charm, burst someone down when they're heading towards that objective.
Get some nice vision coverage cleared as well. Want to be careful, respect the potential for Bury to make the play. A good move in, but this might also be bait as Bury. They are going to be able to get this set up, and it immediately turns into both the flash, the dash, and the cleanse. But they get out alive still. Cooldown spent. PSG could make that happen again.
Yeah, I think they need a little bit better ward coverage on the side for DCG. That was still a pretty big win coming in from the side of PSG here. They get both sums. It gives them a target to just focus down later. So I think what this means is that DCG are going to play even harder towards the top side. The way they're going to keep their bottom lane safe is by forcing you to respond.
Look at this. Rory is thinking about potentially trying to sandwich Hana, but Leaky's also there to help out. It's like extended counter jungling. I think this is happening full information for both teams, more or less. Hana will be able to take away that red buff, though. It's a nice win as he's able to protect his own side. Going to be hard for Bury to catch back up.
And I feel like that was really well done from DCG. That's exactly what you want to do. You want to pull the jungler to the top side, make sure your bot lane is safe. And we're going to be seeing where PSG try to interject on this one. Kaiwing is going to get into mid lane a little bit faster, start leeching up. But DCG, both members are moving towards the Herald right now.
I think this is, yeah, I think Deep Cross is just going to take the red buff for themselves. Ah, okay, maybe not. I thought for a second that was the play. Kaiwing.
Oh, see the
right
Ahri
behind the backs. They actually realized they cut him off. Not going to be able to get him down, though. The Ahri was there as well, so no follow-through. Now with Hana, level 6. Let the bullying commence.
Absolutely massive timing spike here from power spike here for Nesty. You know, he's going into the ignite, getting his full burst damage down, but they do relinquish position. If Hanabi comes forward,
there we go. Hanabi, he goes for it into the cease and desist. He knows there's nowhere for him to go. Leaky claiming kill number 2, and PSG were running hot foot up there, but they're gonna have to settle for just the Herald.
Very interesting situation. I actually still think this goes in favor of DCG just a little bit because they come out on the top side and they also get bot lane pushing. You have an over-rotation from the side of Unify here, so that should be at least one played in the bottom lane here. And also a kill top side. So all in all, I actually think it's quite a decent... If I'm DCG, I'm happy with the trade.
Oh yeah, I mean, after losing out both of your summoners, and still being able to get that much done, getting some gold back, like the pressure's off of you. You have your cleanse like coming close to being off cooldown. You have about half of your cooldown left on flash. And if you're Cascada, you got to be breathing a sigh of relief that Bury's just not been able to come down here at all.
Yeah, exactly. And look at that 2-kill scoreline on the side of Leaky. This lane is quickly getting hard. It's pretty close to unplayable for Hanabi at this point. Like, he's just gonna have to hug his power 24/7. And I think, you know, Nesty has a very clear go signal. Let's see if he is able to get up there before the Meganar bar is up. He will be able to make it.
I think so, just barely. You got to out flash into the burst, and oh, the Gnar does
still
go
gets it,
mega, but they're gonna keep going.
Double
For this one.
stun.
Leaky takes a lot of tower shots. Woo! Hanabi's out playing the 1v2 again.
Oh, that was so close, you know, and that was a flash from Nessie to get that going. He didn't have the ignite for that one, and Hanabi able to get the extra HP. And we have Gory now going into the top side, so a Lockberg for not much gain.
Yeah, I think at this point, Hanabi has to know they're just going to gun for him, so he moves back and away. Really, really great play as he gets the Gnar up just in time. Also enables PSG to finish off this Ocean Dragon a little bit later than we've seen some of the Drakes so far, and we got a Mountain coming up next. So, hoping to bait this out. Moscato would love Unified to step far forward, although with the Cleanse and the Spell Shield, I have to think that the Cease and Desist is not going to be the most effective.
Look how calm Unified is playing right here. Holds on to a Spell Shield. He knows that he doesn't need it for the Yumi Bolt. The PSG are now starting to look again at their bolt side. They don't see
Kawhi doesn't see this. Oh, no.
Now they do.
Yeah, okay.
No, they don't. Sorry, they don't.
Nope. Hana, okay, there's the cutoff, but Boris here. That was a little bit of a misfire on that one. The Solar Flare does land, and all of a sudden, Hana's being forced to flash away as well to get the final chapter out of Kaiwing, but he just tanks through it, and, well, PSG pretty much brought everyone here to try and dissuade that play, and no one will go down just yet.
Yeah, and you saw DCG even setting up the, let's see the Charm lands. The potential TP from Leaky there to assist if anything did go wrong. Now Leaky, unfortunately, able to get back to his own lane.
Gory takes the tower shot. They're going to go for a little farther than that. Rome does come up here. You can see Hana's got Woody on his back, and I think they want to set up for a play, but a lot of vision from PSG in River's going to stop that dead in its tracks. And Criscata's feeling confident enough to go 1v1 toe-to-toe with Unified. He's got his Cole complete as well, and he's more or less matching for battle stats. So for the first time this series, I think Criscata getting out of lane relatively unscathed, especially as his cooldowns are back up now.
For sure, and I think we could see a lot of pressure from DCG just going into the bottom side. They have the Lissandra with the stun CC, and you also have the Yumi plus Vi combo, so there's no escaping that, even with the cleanse. And I could see, you know, just Hana plus Woody just moving between the mid lane and bottom. You do this every time, and PSG is forced to kind of follow you, and then you still have the hard crowd control advantage. So it's almost a no-lose scenario for you, unless like Hana just suddenly gets bursted down. But honestly, that's not that likely to happen. So I think the game plan is pretty clear. Now you already have a sizable lead onto Leaky. That's not going to evaporate. You just force the potential kill threat into the bot lane. You just walk between these two lanes over and over again, and you give that alone time to Leaky.
Yeah. It's a slow roller, but it's certainly going to work out well in their favor. You take a look at the gold difference right now. It's not huge, about 800 separating these two teams, with PSG having the edge on Dragons. But the tempo, the momentum, it's all DCG. They can keep this roam train going, dive buddies between Hana and Woody, and they can just continually threaten wherever they want. And you can see the respect was paid there in the cleanse for Unified. Of course, Gory holding on to his now with that unsealed spellbook. He might be forced to use it sooner rather than later.
Like, once DCG get a couple more wards in here, they could go for it. Ooh, now he gets caught midair. Hana coming in.
Okay, they're going to get that Zenith Blade on, but into the last chapter, and Nesty looks to go in on this one. The burst is there. Hana does get taken down as Criscata finding a kill. It was Bury that fell, excuse me. Highwing also goes down. 2 kills to Criscata. All of a sudden, the Zerion line in Unified just gets caught out. Everything bursted through. The triple kill. My, Clement. How about them turntables?
That's exactly the play I wanted to see from DCG. And I thought Hana was dead. There's so much burst just being thrown onto him, but he manages to survive through the heal right there. He gets the turnaround kills, and now we have the fed Zeri on the other side of the map.
And a tower goes down as well. First break. Let's take a look at that play. Kaiwing looked to sandwich Hana, and they nearly got him. But the damage wasn't quite there, and Nesty was earlier to the party than Gory.
Yeah, it was everything just being thrown right there. You know, Gory uses the Everfrost, he gets the true damage, but there was no ignite on Kaiwing, so the heal manages to save him, and then it's just the chase down on the other side. No damage, nowhere to go, triple kill going over
zoom
to the side of Criscata.
Yeah, this is what we mean when we call Zeri a Zoomer champion.
That That's a good one too.
Yeah, well, I wish I could take credit for it. I think Ender might have pioneered that one. But 15 minutes on the game clock, the Deep Cross have opened up a massive goal lead. Chris Scott is fed, in addition to the shield bow, has the Zeal. And remember, he invested in the Cult early. Didn't even have battle stats up against Unified. And this is the difference between this game and the first two. Even in game 2, and things were going a little more Deep Cross's way, that bottom lane certainly wasn't. PSG going to try and force the issue on this Herald. Might be able to get it, but this comes down to a flip.
Yeah, Hana's going to be able to engage onto this one.
Oh, no! They give it away!
They might not be able to get out either.
I don't think so. Already, Burry going to be chased down as Chris Scotta gets another kill picked up, and the train is rolling. Deep Cross looking to get back on the board. This would be a huge confidence booster after losing that one. Remember, this team has to reverse sweep to stay alive in this playoff series.
Yeah, this is... I think PSG are just in a very difficult position right now because all of DCG's champions, they require a large amount of investment to first down. They didn't have the Nara in the fight, but oh no, is DCG doing this again? Are they going
I think they are.
over Drakes? I think I've seen this.
I've seen this the other way. Oh no. Yeah,
all right, we're
this
good.
one's going to be got by DCG, I think.
Yeah, they allocate the correct amount of members to the task this time around, and they don't give it away. I was getting deja vu, like... Okay, this is the thing I don't want to see in Game 3. We saw this in Game 1 and Game 2, but both solo laners died in the bottom side after expending teleports in Game 1 and Game 2. So, this is what we're hoping that will not happen. Like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, PSG goes to Worlds. I think that's likely what's going to happen.
Oh, I thought the shame was going to flip back around the other way, but that makes more sense. Oh, man. Clement, it's dangerous, right? Like, even when you have a lead like this, you cannot afford to make a mistake against a team like PSG. You just can't. We saw the proof in the pudding last time. So they're trying to play as safe as possible.
I think all DCG need to do is group up and force hard engage over and over again. Just like, you have such a decisive lead at this point. Most of your champions are not burstable. We just saw even Vi was able to survive 3 to 4 members worth of burst damage. So you just go. Like, you just hit the go button whenever you see that you have the opportunity to do so. I feel like you're going to win every bout. You're 5,000 gold up ahead. I think the most dangerous thing for DCG is actually playing too timid here.
I think you're right. 17.5 minutes on the game clock. Gonna try and keep splitting the issue as they look to take another tower up top uncontested. Hanabi's gonna be a little late to this party. Extend that gold lead, try to turn into more. Yeah, they have a 4-item Zeri, or excuse me, 4-kill Zeri with 2 items. It's pretty brutal to try and deal with that right now in the mid lane. They're gonna keep this issue forced. Gory though does get a big chunk out onto Nesti's health bar, and I want to continue to give Hanabi a bad time. They could have just pushed it down mid.
They're going to take away everything they can in this situation. And yeah, now mid is completely exposed.
Herald they got earlier on. It's going to get dropped down. There's really nothing you can do. Unified can get there to try and like clear away waves, but you can't really stop his charge.
This is the wrong move for him.
Oh, he's really trying to get this one. He knows Kaiwing's at his back, and he actually is able to shred through the mini wave. He might even keep his tower alive. I can't believe he just did that.
Yeah, I'm like, the DCG didn't actually try to pull the go button at all, you know. I felt like Nessie might be coming in, but
yeah. They do. That's going to be another cease and desist, and they burst him down. Leaky gets kill 3. Oh, I think we're watching a couple of reruns here, Clement. This just keeps on happening.
Yeah, I think Inabi just got caught off guard. He thought the minion wave was out far enough, but he had no rage bar there, and that's the second time that Hana has been able to interrupt the hop midway just for the instant kill. Beautiful stuff from Hana.
The saving grace, I guess, is PSG have been able to hang on to that mid tower. I mean, it's getting pretty low as well, but like, this is one of the advantages of a Sivir is you can just shred waves so fast, and Unified is just playing without fear. Like, he looked like he was a dead man. I thought for a second, I'm like, surely there's a pause incoming, because no way would he actually be walking towards that. But he does, and he just completely demolishes the wave. They outlast, so DCG will have to put a little more effort into knocking that one down.
I love how calm Unified has been playing around with his spell shield. He saw the Yumi come in, he knew that there was maybe a Vi on the flip side, and he just held on to the spell shield. It's like, I'm not gonna... Cryscata?
The charm! Insta-cleanse. There we go. That's what we're talking about. Nice bait, nice try to set up on the play, but Also kind of sniffed out by the prowling projectile. And now this will be a tower for PSG in the mid lane. They had already nearly gotten that one too, so standing gold back in their pockets.
Still looking for the angle here.
Yeah, I'm not going to go for that one. Nesty was just shoving the wave, it looks like.
I'm always a little bit
7 kills to
surprised
0.
here. I feel like if I'm DCG, I'm willing to straight TP into there and just kill everyone. I feel like, again, DCG are a little bit... You know, they have a massive advantage. You really try to push it as hard as possible. Instead, it's all PSG with chances.
Oh. And Kaiwing, he goes in, looks for Cascada again. They now turn their attention on Hana, but it doesn't really matter. They have way too much damage on the deep cross side. They let PSG come to them, but they're splitting a little bit of focus here. There we go, the double kill coming in for Leaky, and now they just keep moving the chase on, realizing as Hanabi is out, they can turn their sights over to the Baron.
Yeah, they go for the bait, but Leaky, once again, he hangs around the rest of the team, waiting for PSG to make a move. They get caught with their pants down. They think they have a numbers advantage. Not the case in that one, and they take Gory down first there. Just, you know, it was a good attempt after Cascada lost the cleanse, but I almost feel like it was a little bit unnecessary, and now DCG are gonna walk away with the biggest lead they had all series. I hope they can take it to the finish line this time.
Surely they can win this game. As we see the setup from PSG, it was Kaiwing that instigated it. They really wanted Cascada, but he's able to dash, flash, and just stay alive. As the overcommit gets forced, a big lightning crash, and Leaky takes Gory out of the picture with the last hit. This World Ender Aatrox starting to get real big, and now they just held PSG killless. And you can't win the game against a team like Deep Cross if you don't take their members out, as they get chased off of this Infernal Dragon. We haven't even talked about it, but it's an Infernal Rift. The battle stats alone are going to be massive now for Deep Cross Gaming.
Especially for someone like the Aatrox that can then convert that extra damage into sustain. He's going to be a complete fright train here. And I do want to go back a little bit into JT Universe lore. Last time, JT went 8-0 versus PSG, but they still lost the game. This time, DCG are 9-0. So I think maybe this is the magic threshold. Okay, if you're 9-0, maybe you're safe.
Look, you know, after I got boomed in my bracket predictions, I can't trust relying on any sort of logic when it comes to a JT. All right, I'm done. I've been burned too many times. It's not happening again. DCG though, they're looking pretty good right now. 22.5 minutes. They've opened up a sizable lead in this game. It just feels like their game to lose at this point.
And the problem, I think, with PSG this time is they don't have the range, and they don't have the engage either. So it's going to be very hard to actually make comebacks. What they would need to do is for DCG to somehow overcommit on a fight, flop a lot of their engages, and pull away and maybe re-engage. It has to be a very convoluted script for them to find a comeback, and that's why I wasn't that in love with PSG's composition. I feel like both the Wukong and the Gnar are very conditional engagements.
Yeah, and you know, I think what DCG did, as they go forward again and chase on that final chapter, oh my goodness, finding a lot of damage, but not the kill. Gory's clone absorbs a lot. Meanwhile, Gory finding Nesty around the side and gets bursted down. But here comes the pain train, as you cannot stop this one. You can merely delay the inevitable. Nesty will claim a kill, tanks tower shots to do so, but he's able to get out scot-free at the end of the day, and they just keep on rolling. 10 kills unanswered by Deep Cross Gaming.
Okay, there's no way. There's no way. I feel like Deep Cross Gaming, I'm fairly confident that they're going to be able to snowball this one. If you look at Cascada, he's unkillable at this point. He also has a sustained build. Same thing going in for a Leaky, and they have so much armor shred too. Like, the amount of armor shred they can do on these frontline targets is insane. And if you look at Hanabi, he doesn't have an armor item yet. He's still very, very far away from going on to something like Randuin's. Same goes for Bury. They're basically standing naked in front of DCG. There's this true damage buffet coming in from the side of Cascada. So, and he has an Infinity Edge. I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm just trying to stack up how impossible it would be for PSG to make a comeback.
It would probably be one of the most ridiculous comebacks in the history of this league. And I agree with you, Clement. I think this game should, in theory, be over. Deep Cross just need to keep pushing the envelope, keep extending that lead, and eventually just marching into this one. So, looking for the start of the comeback. This has to feel really good for them right now. They can savor the moment. As long as they put this game away, they are still alive in the playoff race. Remember what's on the line here. winning this game doesn't get you to Worlds, but it does keep you in the conversation.
They would need to still win against Beyond Gaming. They're waiting tomorrow in the loser finals to advance into the grand finals. Once you get the grand finals, you go to Worlds. The seeding still has to be decided by that final best of 5. Now, DCG pushing onto this tower. You know, this is where they failed last time, but I think they should be fine this go around. Leaky has shown himself, and there's going to be a chance for PSG to find and engage, but they don't have the Ari to do so.
All right, yeah. Not gonna end up in a play, Kaiwing. I thought for a second he might be going in. He might be trying to make it happen. Oh, Unified's getting chunked. And, you know, it just kind of has me thinking that they give away this Sivir. I wonder if they just saw what happened last time and said, why don't we do that to PSG? Maybe we turn it around on them. We just know what we can unlock this area potential. And they did. They just didn't lose lane, and that's all they had to do is not lose lane.
Yeah, and I think the most important thing out of all this is that bot lane played a lot better this time around. They didn't get any opportunities, no burn summoners early. They did burn one summoner, but it was traded back and forth. So, you know, with that bot getting a lot better, they're able to try and juggle the attention of PSG in both of these side lanes, and PSG end up with neither, right? I just feel like PSG's compositions on these red sides has been incredibly passive. And I think that's the biggest problem with PSG is they don't have a win lane strategy at all. They do not have some form of a let's counterpick you and win through the lanes and go with an early game strategy. They just have been playing completely into the later stages of the game, and that's why they're the slowest team in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, they still get the wins, and like I think combat mechanics are important, but like if you can win fast, you don't have to do that every time. You don't have to get back into the late game, and I think that could be trouble for them in the international scene. You know, this is a squad that has done some changes in terms of the roster. They've revitalized it a bit by this time picking up, you know, Gory, who has been an absolute champion, an all-star, you might say. In the mid lane, I think Bury has been a little bit more 50-50. But this team's problems still kind of remain the same, right? Like, regardless of the talent infusion, is that they are a little bit slow. They are a little bit unwilling to necessarily adapt some of their picks, some of their choices, because they are able to out-execute in a lot of cases. And I think that can be trouble for them as this goes. They may, you know, very well be in danger of losing this game, if not more. Another Dragon going to get finished off. It's just buddy system. Hana and Woody finishing this one without a whole lot of resistance because they've kept PSG on the other side of the map. So that's going to be Infernal's sole point. And yeah, PSG maybe picks up some extra change here. You know, like this is the side hustle that they've got for themselves. But like, okay, sure, you know, you get a little bit of a tip. But the other team, they're collecting quite a lot at this point. 28 minutes on the game clock. It's a massive advantage. DCG also had the battle stats to back it up, and yeah, it's hard to see how PSG come back to this game.
I think the best thing that DCG could do is try to end this as soon as possible. Like, you don't want to go into a Sivir late game where there's a potential for an Infinity Edge to come out and just bounce around your back lane to create some havoc. I think if I'm DCG, I'm just heading straight for Baron. I know I have a good enough lead. I could probably even fight up a ramp and still win this fight anyway, so I'm perfectly happy to just start it.
Well, they're certainly trending that way at the moment. Trying to see if they can get a pick first. I think they want to have their cake and eat it too. Solar Flare lands onto nobody. Leaky looks to chase PSG away, fully aware of what Deep Cross are intending to do here. Ana going over the pit clears out the only vision they've got on the inside, but there is that sneaky ward on the out, and Deep Cross are unwilling to commit to this. They're playing safe, too safe perhaps.
I don't think this is necessary. Like, if you're up like 11k at this point, just start the Baron. Just start.
There
Force
we
them
go.
to come over there.
Now this PSG do have the vision on the outside pit, right? I think they know. All right, this is gonna be the opportunity.
You have to remember, everyone can just cross the wall. Like, they are not limited by this engage. Hana needs to keep some of his HP though.
Oh man, they just were not hitting the Baron while they were waiting for the play. I think that was way too telegraphed. Fully resets.
Alright, look, the Summer can go in.
Charm lands onto the Baron. It gets aggroed again. Hana's tanking a little low. Watching out for Nest T on the wraparound. I mean, yeah, Deep Cross, they just get a whole lot of nothing done there.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that Hana goes so low in that situation. They do have Woody there with the Zoomy, so I'm not sure what. I think he was kind of solo tanking that one, but he didn't even take damage from PSG.
All right, third time's the charm.
We're going again.
Let's go. Let's go.
Be confident. Oh, Gory's back with no TP.
Yeah, skip the death cap, but they were trying to take advantage of the timing. Hanabi does have his Gnar bar matching up.
Okay,
Cross
turn
gonna
on
turn, look for him into the burst to take him down before he can go to the Mega. And all of a sudden, the Baron, not even fully healed, they immediately turn their attention. Bury, he would have to be the hero to steal this one away. It's about enough time for Gory to get back to play.
Ana is a little bit low, but he still has that Zoomies to save him afterwards.
They look like they're
going
won
for
the
the
fight.
chase.
Spirit Rush. Baron's getting reset. Oh no, they're going right back over to it again. Hana is forced to pop his stopwatch as he goes for the Vault Breaker in. Deep Cross don't like this one. So after all of that, 3 minutes plus of a dance, they end up with 1 kill onto Hanabi. Okay.
I'm a little bit underwhelmed. They still keep their lead.
Yes, they do.
There's a lot of different ways to kind of play this. Like, if they weren't feeling very queasy about that Baron, what they could do is just walk into the enemy jungle. Like, honestly, what is PSG going to do to you? I don't see it. I really don't know what PSG can do to you at this point. You just walk into the jungle, you got the Zoomies to heal up, drop a couple wards, walk back. It's going to waste them a ton of time to clear it. And you just go straight off the Baron. Like, we have seen teams like JD Gaming, who's the championship team in LPL, by the way, just do 5-minute Baron plays, where they just grind you out on the Baron again and again and again. Like, they don't care about being repetitive, but they get the job. And I feel like DCG need a little bit of that G-Bomb spirit.
Yeah, maybe they do. But at the same time, I think Deep Cross are a little bit more invested in the other objective that'll be coming up in about a minute. They bought so much time for this. It is actually going to be the Soul Point.
Yes.
Coming up in about 40 seconds now, and that'll be a lot easier to shred through. The DCG side, PSG know it. They're going to have to fight for this one. Whoa. Those Ultra Shock lasers are starting to sting.
I just want to say, with
yeah, hop the wall, though. Man, Zeri's a good champion.
Yeah. He does have to burn his cleanse, though, so he might be setting up for something here.
PSG, they seem a little revitalized right now, looking to set the play up, but look at this, Hana and SD around the side. Glacial Path, they go in, looking for something, anything, they find it, Bury gets bursted before the play begins, and they turn their attention over to Kaiwing, the final chapter. Dodges 2 steps, but Hana moves in, they're going to try and cut this one off now. Kaiwing drops as Chriscata just bursts him through. The chase is still on, and they're going to be taking out this tower now. They have their pick of the objectives, that inner falls, and they'll turn their attention to the dragon. Slow and steady.
I think PSG got a little bit greedy in that instance. The way you want to play stacked objectives is you just sit on the ground. I don't think PSG really had a chance to contest this Infernal. Their best out was just to split the major objectives and take the Baron off the map. But instead, they walked through, I think, a very dangerous choke. They had no idea of knowing if DCG were on the objective or not, and they just kind of walked themselves into a death position. Bury went down without doing anything. Gory had to burn his ultimate a little bit early just to get out, and DCG able to do a clean sweep of the team. Yeah. Still 0 deaths.
Gets themselves in front. 0 deaths for PSG, or 0 deaths for DCG, I should say. And you know who's feeling pretty confident right now? Woody. That Yumi is not only writing a book, she's reading one too. Casual Medjai's at 4 stacks.
The book and cat burger coming through, and we all already have the Zeri starting to work on her. On maybe just like trading her Zerkers out for another attack speed item in the future.
My goodness. Yeah, that's a full build Zeri.
I think DCG guys, okay, so you got your full build Zeri. Things are only going to get closer against PSG from now on. So I want to see them play things a little bit more decisively. Like, they do have the teleport from Nessie, and they have the smite, so if they just drop a couple wards down here behind the back line. They don't have any wards on them right now.
Yeah, they're chasing PSG away, but they're not coming into the Baron. I think they should be able to just shred this fast enough. But they seem to be a little afraid, looking for the fight instead, looking for the bait play. And, well, Kaiwing goes forward. They find a stop for a second. However, Chriscata just bursts Bury down all the same. The bullet is too heavy. And look at the leaky 1v3. Yes, indeedy. Oh, Hanabi's Narbar was not even ready for that one, so with the 2 kills, you have to think now's the time to take the free Baron.
Oh, they're finally going to go for it. DCG, on average, has game times of 32 minutes. But in this one, with a massive lead,
That's a long one.
Let it drag a little bit more. They're still going to get there.
This is the Deep Cross Gaming extended edition right now. Like
yeah.
This is all the stuff that we cut out for the cut to screen, like all the cinematic stuff. But, you know, they're fully committed to the fight. Kaiwing says, okay, take it. And they do. Like, it's a nice bit of lockdown, but all the damage dealers are zoned by Leaky. Look at this guy.
He gets everyone down to half HP, and he's still full at that point. That's just the power of this fed Aatrox build. And it was just a great job by him to cut out all the damage dealers onto the right side. This is why I say PSG basically have no chance of coming back. They have very slow engage to come out. Like, Hanabi's Wallop and stuff didn't come out because it wasn't, I don't think it was Meganar in that fight. And in the flip side, they don't have the range to attack across the wall. They have to go through these terrains, making it very easy for someone like the Aatrox to just hog up these choke points. So, you know, the typical markers of a comeback, strong engage, and long range don't exist for PSG. And that's why I just don't see it. I agree that maybe, you know, DCG, because of those factors, are taking it much safer than usual.
I think after the last game went so horribly awry, I can understand why they maybe are trying to play it out with zero opportunity for PSG to come back into this. But yeah, they've held them to 0 kills. The gold lead is 15,000. It's a full Drake stack here. Gory just gets chunked into oblivion, somehow stays alive, and can't be for much longer. This is going to be the final push. They break into the base. It was a slow-moving boulder, but it has stacked momentum now for Deep Cross Gaming, playing with their food here up against PSG as they aim to start their comeback, looking for the reverse sweep to stay alive in this playoff race.
And they should be able to get it. You know, throughout this entire game, in the back of my head, I've always been waiting for the PSG comeback. It just always seems to come through. Not this time. Charges forward. The flash in.
Here we go. Cease and desist. They look for Hanabi. He flashes. He
He's
hops.
out.
He jumps. They burn a lot of lightning crash, but it doesn't matter. They just have so much damage. They burst down Bury yet again. Now they take Kaiwing out of the picture. Criscata just keeps on adding the kills. And
Holy
another one
cow.
going for more. Now he wants to add to that highlight reel as he chases under the towers. Gory denies him for just a second. And Woody goes ahead and takes the kill away. They're going to end this one right here, right now. It took them a little while to do it, but 19 kills to 0 unanswered. Deep Cross staying alive in Game 3.
Oh, great stuff for them. I would say this is the first game of the series that PCG was actually able to play out their game plan. The bot lane didn't fold to the pressure of Unified and Kaiwing. They were able to shift focus on the top. We had a 2-0 lead on Leaky early on, and after that, DCG, I think they played correctly. A little slow to be honest. I feel like they actually gave some chances for PSG to find opportunities.